So you've got this killer idea, and they're ready to build your online empire. Firing up a Shopify store is such an exciting first step, right? But a lot of new founders get so wrapped up in the fun, creative parts that they completely miss some super important and potentially expensive details. Let's make sure you launch the right way from day one.
And when I say expensive, I'm not kidding. Check this out. The FTC found that a whopping 40% of small online businesses have run into legal trouble, all because of missing or incomplete fine print on their websites. We're here to make sure you are not one of them.
Okay, so a successful store, it doesn't just happen. It starts way before you ever add your first product. We're going to break this whole process down into 4 key pillars, starting with the most critical one, building a rock-solid foundation.
The great thing is, Shopify makes getting started incredibly simple. First, you'll create your account and just spend some time clicking around the admin dashboard. Seriously, think of it as your mission control center. Then comes the really fun part, picking a theme. This is basically the look and feel of your entire store. And finally, grab a custom domain. It's a small step that makes a huge difference in looking professional and building that brand identity.
Now, pretty early on, you have to make a really big decision about your business structure. A sole proprietorship is the easiest way to go, for sure, but, and this is a big but, it leaves your personal assets, like your house or your car, totally exposed if the business gets into trouble. An LLC, on the other hand, builds a protective wall between your personal life and your business finances. It's the safer bet, even if it means a little more paperwork up front.
With that foundation in place, let's move on to pillar 2, stocking your shelves. This is where things get really interesting, because you get to decide what you're actually going to sell. This is the heart and soul of your business.
For so many new store owners, dropshipping is an absolute game changer. It's a model where you never have to touch, store, or ship any inventory yourself. When a customer buys something, your supplier just ships it straight to them. This takes a ton of financial risk off your plate and lets you focus on what really matters, marketing your store and building your brand.
So, how do you find the right products? It's not just guesswork, it's a strategic hunt. You start by picking a niche, something you're passionate about, or a spot where you see a clear gap in the market. Then you put on your detective hat and research your competitors. See what's selling well and, more importantly, where you can do better. And finally, and this is crucial, you have to pick a reliable supplier. Remember, their product quality and shipping speed become your reputation.
All right, on to pillar 3. Your store's got a strong foundation. You've got amazing products. Now we have to tackle all those little operational details that turn a pretty website into a real business that customers actually trust.
Hey, remember that scary 40% number from the beginning? Well, this is how you avoid becoming part of it. These 6 pages are totally non-negotiable, and they don't just protect you legally, they build a massive amount of trust. Think about it. When you see clear policies for privacy, refunds, and shipping, it sends a powerful signal that this is a legit, professional store you can feel safe buying from.
Now for the mechanics of actually making money. You've got to set up a payment gateway so you can get paid. Then you'll figure out your shipping rates and zones. And here is a pro tip, something you absolutely cannot skip. Before you tell a single soul about your store, place a test order. Go through the entire checkout process yourself. It's the best way to find any little bugs before your first real customer does.
And that brings us to our final pillar, and honestly, you could argue it's the most important one, actually attracting customers. I mean, a beautiful, perfect store is pretty useless if nobody knows it exists, right? It's time to get some traffic.
One of the most powerful, long-term ways to get traffic is search engine optimization, or SEO. Now, don't let the term intimidate you. Just think of it in 3 simple parts. You've got on-page SEO, which is all about the words on your site, your content. Then there's technical SEO, which is the back-end stuff, and the good news is Shopify handles a lot of this for you. And finally, off-page SEO is all about building your reputation around the web.
Look, as a new store, you're not going to compete with Amazon for a huge, broad search term like shoes. It's just not going to happen. The secret weapon for new sites is to get really, really specific and carve out your own little corner of the search results.
For example, trying to rank on Google for dog collars? Good luck. But what about LED dog collars for small dogs? See how specific that is? That's what we call a long-tail keyword. Fewer people might search for it, but the person who does knows exactly what they want, and they are way more likely to buy.
Diving into the Shopify App Store can feel a little overwhelming, but you don't need 100 apps to get going. Just think in terms of function. You definitely need a way to collect product reviews. A tool for email marketing is a must, and please get a backup app like Rewind. Think of that one as an insurance policy for your entire business. So you did it. You launched. Congratulations. That's huge. But the journey is really just beginning. Now we need to talk about the habits that separate the stores that fizzle out after a few months from the ones that really thrive long term.
You know, every common mistake is really just the flip side of a good habit. So instead of ignoring your data, become obsessed with it to really understand your customers. Instead of skipping SEO, just make it a part of your routine. Instead of only thinking about today, build systems that can grow with you. And maybe most importantly, see every unhappy customer not as a problem, but as your best opportunity to create a fan for life.
And that leaves us with this one big question. Launching your store is the starting line, not the finish line. The real challenge, and the real reward, is figuring out how to turn that first curious visitor into a loyal, lifelong customer. So, what are you going to do to make that happen?